Okay, so this is my first widestep session from 0. I think I put in enough practice to make it past the drop, or to the drop, from 0. This will definitely take a very long time, so hopefully, you know, looking back, humble beginnings, as they say. So, let's see. New best. Wow, I'm getting new best left, right, and center. At this rate, I'll get 100 in like 6 minutes. Oh, woohoo. I hate that ship. You have no idea how many times I've died to it in practice mode from 0. Wow! Okay, 20 is good. Okay, well that blue orb is just the worst, so I expect to die there a lot more. The wave following that is not as bad, but it's still pretty bad. Why did I jump? That was the perfect setup. I might just be incapable of doing this from 0. Thank you! Fucking finally. 33, I have the level in 3 runs now. Damn, that took so long. Now I know I need to practice from, what, like 16? That one blue orb timing so much more. Okay, so I think I'm at a point now that I can play from 0 again. Since my last session from 0, I've gotten 64 to 100 recorded. This is the second time I've done 62 to 100 on camera. I've gotten 47 to 100 unrecorded. Hi guys. I just did 47 to 100. I've gotten several, like 31 to 72 more than once. I think like 3 times at this point. And I just literally got 12 to 52, so if I'm lucky enough, I think I can do the level in 2 runs today. But I'm just aiming for a new best right now. Are you serious? Please. Oh no. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. That took forever to get past the fucking beginning. This is my first attempt past the beginning this session, and it took like 600 attempts. If that's how this is gonna go, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I mean, obviously, like, I'm not consistent at the beginning yet. That was to be expected, but if I don't ever get consistent, this is just gonna become an unbearable grind. No. Yes. Yes. Oh, 47. Hi, voiceover Theon here. From this moment on, I started to delete raw recordings of my widestep sessions because, well, I have dozens of them, and, on average, they're only like 10 gigs each, but it still adds up, and I definitely face some storage issues. So the sessions that I never passed 47, I simply deleted. I also started to drown out grinding the level by watching YouTube or Twitch in the background, so a lot of the clips in the rest of the video have the music edited back in. Ah! Progress fluke, let's fucking go. Not much of a progress fluke, it's just 15%, but like, this is the type of run I've been wanting for like a week. Hopefully this means my mental block with 31 is over, but I'll probably just still have consistency issues with the drop from 0. No! Fuck! Oh. Dang. Hey everyone, it's VoiceOver Theon again. If I included every single 47 plus death in the sessions I have saved, the video would legitimately be unbearably long. Not only that, but I simply do not want to edit that much. So the following screenshots are sort of like a diary based around my progress for specific days. March 14th kind of marked a breakthrough in my overall consistency. It seems like I was alternating between terrible sessions and passable sessions with some real low points, namely on March 8th and March 10th, which you can see here. I was probably playing at least 2 or 3 hours of just widestep per day since getting 64, as I was genuinely convinced that I was able to grind it out and beat it before the start of April, well before the LRR miss event, which this level was my original pick for that. I had been keeping this progress a complete secret from everyone who wasn't in the LRR miss Discord server, and this system appeared to work. At least for now. New best at the very fucking least. It's been what, like a month? This is like the worst session I've had in like 2 weeks, man. I'm so happy. No. Not again. I'm not even nervous. What is this? Around this time was my exam season for the study term, so I naturally had to slow down my widestep grind. This might have actually been a really beneficial mental reset because I'd gotten into a toxic mindset of judging my sessions based on the number of times I passed 47, which I took as the point of, oh shit, things are getting real now. I did a similar thing with Rust, where I judged those sessions based on the number of times I passed the 2 wave parts, also around 40, except with that level, I actually had a bit of consistency with each individual part. That was not the case with widestep. I cannot understate how difficult 31 to 47 is, at least on 60 Hz. You're met with 2 absolutely soul-crushing waves right out of the gate, and then I would consider 40 to 47 the hardest stretch of the whole level. However, an embarrassing amount of attempts were eaten up by the wave at 12% and the miniship following it, as well as the 20% microclick and the following wave timing. The microclick is setup dependent, so that should tell you all you need to know. That's not to say that the rest of the level leading up to 47 was consistent either. I certainly had immense difficulty with, well, everything.
but the choke points I highlighted caused me a great deal of trouble, and I never truly got consistent with them even towards the end of my journey.
It happened, guys. 31 to 100, bitches. Ho ho ho! I'm keeping that. That's proof of my 31 to 100 right there. New best. Let's fucking go. I've been playing really well today, so... $68 again? No way. I thought that was a new best too. I was like, how long does this go for? Wow! Dang. Ay, ay, ay. Why can't I do that? I can't do that black orb today. What is going on? Seriously? It looks like April 16th marked the last of my deaths past 62 in my initial push of this level. I actually missed the 64 death somewhere along the line, but I can't be bothered to comb through all of my raw recordings again to find it. To be quite honest, I didn't exactly lock in for my exams. Rather, I seemed to double down on my widestep grind. I was then playing probably 4 to 5 hours of widestep a day in addition to quote-unquote studying for my exams, and my final marks definitely reflected the time I spent on Geometry Dash. Once all of my exams were over and I was home for the spring term, I wasn't able to justify pushing myself this hard to beat widestep. For personal reasons, I tried really hard to find a stable job for the 4 months I would be at home, so I had to drop it for the foreseeable future. Sure, I beat Nightshade during this time for memory, and I was finally able to speedrun the sequel to one of my main speed games in Wii Play Motion, but this was only because there's so much job hunting you can do before feeling completely burnt out and like your efforts are useless. Deltarune Chapters 3 and 4 came out. That was a nice reprieve from being ghosted by fucking McDonald's and Tim Hortons and Costco and local bubble tea stores, and I could go on and on about the places I applied to but didn't hear back from. I didn't end up getting any job, and I stopped searching by mid-July because I would be back to school in September anyways. Needless to say, I was feeling pretty much like a failure, and I decided to de-rust a bit in late June just to see how much of the level I'd retained. Why? I keep dying there. In late July, I went to get my bottom 2 wisdom teeth removed because they were growing sideways into my other teeth instead of straight up out of my gums, causing a fair bit of discomfort.
Obviously, I couldn't play widestep during my recovery, so I stopped playing again. My brother had bought Balatro for our Steam family library shortly after my operation. Therefore, I developed a Balatro addiction and even got included in the low refresh rate GD mod by Prianic. I have yet to play the latest update, but I will do that once I hit Completionist Plus. Since I have nowhere else to include this, here's a clip of me obtaining my first and so far only Nan Imp from sometime in November.
Yeah, this is easily Nanon. There it is. My first Nanon.
I only took like 2 weeks to recover, but I had to think about the 12 Demons of LR Armis event as I was concerned that I wouldn't have the capability to do a notable level during my upcoming fall study term. It was now August, and I decided to do Gold Crest Palace. However, that didn't really take very long at all, and it seemed like everyone else had much more ambition. So I left Goldcrest Palace as a backup level in case I couldn't finish my next pick, Random Access Memory. I did end up doing that quite quickly, and I was able to keep it a secret until the event. Once the fall term started, those personal reasons I intentionally left vague actually developed to a point where I can say 2025 was probably the worst year of my life so far. My mental state was at an all-time low, and I couldn't focus on my schoolwork. There were times when I would disassociate for minutes at a time and spiral into a mix of anger and deep sadness and generally hopelessness for my real-life situation. Maybe one day I'll elaborate on this. Probably not, at least not publicly. This is a bit of a long tangent, but it's relevant to my journey, I promise. Anyways, to distract myself from the basically depression I was going through, I went to Geometry Dash for any semblance of comfort. I beat Myocardia first, and then Misfire. And then because I absolutely hated life at the time, I decided to do Kuzureta. My friend Timmy Dog had just breezed through it, and it was another friend's hardest on paper at the time, so I decided, fuck it, why not? I knew it wasn't my skill set, but I also knew that if I could beat something that inconsistent, that unbalanced, then maybe I would have a shot at widestep again. I had a terrible time with it. I knew I would have a terrible time with it, but I was also having a terrible time in general. So it didn't matter to me as long as I was able to distract myself from my existence. To be honest, I was barely eating because I barely had an appetite. I still do, to be honest. I was skipping class most days because it was hard to leave my bed. This was legitimately one of the worst times of my life. Not because of Kuzu, but because I was tired of feeling like a failure. Even after I beat it, nothing changed. But then I came across a glimmer of hope. If you've watched my random access memory video, then you'll know that I love bouldering. I love it so much that even in this period of my life, going to the university bouldering wall was the only thing that could reliably get me out of my room. And I knew it too. I would intentionally schedule times so that I had some sort of healthy routine going. My friend who I'd regularly climb with during mornings had a friend who worked at the uni bouldering wall, and he heard that they needed staff for the upcoming winter term, so he got me an application link and I applied. It didn't take long for me to hear back, and long story short, I ended up getting the position. I wouldn't say all my problems were solved by this endeavor, but I certainly had a direction to follow now, and as a result, I was able to emerge from my slump and actually maintain a positive mindset again. My sleep schedule is still absolutely despicable, but that's the only truly unhealthy thing I do nowadays. With the boost that the job offer gave me, and coming fresh out of having beaten Kuzureta, I was finally ready to tackle widestep once again by late November.
Ay, ay, ay. Fuck. Fuck. Oh my god. Are you serious? Bro, what is this death? What the hell? Again? Bro, that's insane. Not again! What is going on? Guys, holy fucking shit. You are not going to believe this. Guys, you know where this is from? Do you know where this is from? It's from 12. I just did 12 to 100. That's such a stupid place to die. Oh, why can't I just get a new vest? Are you serious? That was twice in a row that I made it here? Are you serious? Mental block over, guys. I nearly blacked out, but I got a new vest. Oh my fucking god. Oh. I'm surprised I got that twice. Holy fuck. It's happening. It really is happening. I got 76 times 2 and this all today. Okay. Cool. What's happened to it? Early. At least it wasn't 64. Yeah. Shit. Wow. Oh no! That was my chance. Oh no. Nerve death. Even though I don't really have nerves, it's just lack of focus death, I guess. Oh. Well. I don't know what to say. Bruh. Fuck. That was 100% a nerve death. Nerve death. For sure, nerve death. Yeah. Can't believe that was too late. Nerve death. Though that timing is really hard. Damn, 68. Where it all began. Damn. Fuck, man. That's... Like, I don't get nervous anymore. There's no excuse for dying there except stupidity. Fuck, man. Just let me beat this. I've gotten like... I don't know how it has to be like 12 attempts past 78 at this point. Fuck. What is that, times 7 now? Seriously, man? Like, I don't know what else you want me to do there. It's over. It's fucking... Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Holy fuck. Dude, I did it. Hafini, we did it.
If you're still here in the video, I'd like to thank you for sticking around and taking a glimpse into my struggles over the past year. This level pretty much took the entirety of 2025, so I will forever tie this completion to the life events that transpired over that time, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I will continue to power through all the hardships that come my way. My biggest inspirations throughout this whole journey were members of the LRR Miss event. Lost, who beat Renovant on 60Hz in May 2025 after over 300,000 attempts, and I was able to see the last leg of his ordeal. Dami, who was gunning for first low refresh rate victor of Conclusion but faced health issues, your determination is second to none and was a big factor in myself not giving up. I'm confident that you will beat it soon with your current consistency if you haven't already by the time I upload this video. I could honestly praise every member, as a lot of them beat new hardest for the event, and their support meant everything to me. I can't see myself doing anything harder than this, but I thought that was the case for Rust, so only time will tell.